And how's it going, YouTube? My name's Fergus Mulligan, and you may have seen my other self-authoring suite videos, which I'll leave down in a link below so you can check them out. I want to do a video on understanding me personality test. Now, I did the test. Funny enough, I did the test as soon as it came out. I paid for it, and then I did it straight away, and for some reason the server was down, and I didn't get my results that night, but I took the test. And so then a week later I took the test again, which is funny about that because Jordan Peterson recommended that you shouldn't take the test twice. So technically I took the test twice. So hopefully you guys won't judge me for taking the test twice, but that's what happened. So I was just breezing through it. It was almost kind of like I remembered what I said the first time that I did it. And then the results came in, and I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked at the results. Not shocked in the sense that I didn't think those were the things that I'd be high and low in, but how high I was in certain things and how incredibly low I was in certain things. And I've been thinking about maybe the title of this video should be called Agreeableness 1 percentile, because I think that's kind of funny. But anyways, I'm ashamed to say that I am 1 percentile in agreeableness and 2 percentile in politeness, which is pretty low, but it explains a lot, and it explains a lot why I've made the decisions that I have in my life, and how things that I've done have affected me in certain ways, for better and for worse. And also reflecting on this my whole life, I didn't have the vocabulary to say to myself that, oh yeah, I'm a disagreeable person. More so, you know, I didn't have the right words, the right articulation. I kind of I'm hard to deal with in certain ways. Would probably be the language in my head. Was it really worth the $10? Well, to me it was always going to be worth the $10 because I like doing the investing in the self or what have you. But I've genuinely thought about this more than the self-authoring suite and all of the other self-authoring suites, because I can now relay back, oh, that's why I can explain that time when I had a really trouble in those circumstances. It was so difficult for me because I was that way, as opposed to, yeah, I can break down those past events a bit clearer now. And going forward, even now when I've had conversations with people or the business that I've dealt with in the last while, they've gone a little smoother because, you know, like, oh, this is where I usually disagree, or this is where I usually maybe try to be too orderly here. Maybe I'll try bend that a little. Maybe I'll try move into a different corner or into the weak corners that the test revealed to me. But generally speaking, I found the test to be very complimentary towards me. You know, it shouldn't, you know, I think it's funny, it shouldn't be complimentary, but I scored very like high in a lot of the aspects, you know, and some higher than I could have imagined. You know, I scored 99 percentile in assertiveness, which is a concept of assertiveness. I guess it's kind of been there in the back of my mind, but I haven't really fully explored it. But I thought I'd be higher in withdrawal, because I would think of myself as someone that withdraws a lot and comes back to my den, my bedroom, and I think about things for ages, and I go back out into the world. But I was fairly average in that. I was pretty low in compassion, which really struck me. Yeah, like, I'm an actor. I suppose I'm meant to have a lot of empathy for other people, but clearly not, which I thought was kind of funny. But which is funny because but I'm really I'm really high in openness to experiences. There's the 97 percentile, and openness I'm 90%, in tandem with intellectual, which is 92%. So, you know, and so I'm very open to experience, but seemingly not that compassionate and not very agreeable, which makes sense when I look at past jobs that I've had when I'm working under somebody. When they've gone to tell me to do something, the first thing in my head would go, I know about 5 other ways I think I want to try to do that. Now I have a vocab for what I felt when I was doing art and acting, and now I have a vocab for the emotions that I was going through and the feelings about myself and about the world at the time. And this test has really clarified that for me in other people and myself. And it's actually, strangely enough, it was such a shock when I did it, but it's made me kind of happy since then, because I'm like, I actually know now where I can change those aspects. Because like when I speak or when I do actions now, I can kind of feel like, oh, that's my disagreeableness coming out there, or that's my impoliteness coming out there, or that's the extroversion that I have coming out there, or oh, that's my neurotic side, you know, and I can bounce it off that list of aspects. Now I can guide myself down a path that I want to see myself in a bit more, and sculpt how I interact with the world just that little bit better. Of course we do that through our whole lives, but this specifically, this personality aspect test, it's like when I was in my late teens and very early 20s, it's like I have no idea how to operate in this world at all. And now as I get to, you know, I'm in my late 20s now, I'm starting to understand where I lie within the world and how I should interact, and it to bounce back off me, and what ways I should interact with the world. And this test just brought it that little bit step further. And on a final note, I out of all the self-authoring and this personality, I feel like it's a whole package, you know. I feel like it's a whole encompassing package that just, they don't affect you majorly instantly, but the long-term effects, as the weeks go on by, things just slowly start clicking more and more in your head. And I feel as if I'm in a good place in the things I need to work on, but I'm not ashamed about the things that I'm really low in, and I'm more empathetic, because that's just parts of those things I'm like, geez, that's just the kind of way I am, but how do I compensate for that thing, you know what I mean? With, you know, trying to work on those weak areas from an empathetic point of view for myself, you know. So anyways, I hope this was some help for you. But if you like the videos, subscribe to my channel if you like them, and drop me a comment and I'll get back to you. Yeah, hopefully this video was helpful, and I hope to see you in the next one.